Del Tackett once said, "Do you believe what you believe is really real?" The cross in the world today is often viewed as a symbol of hate, a symbol of destruction, and a symbol of evil. And I'm here to tell you that that is a complete lie, and it is false. The whole purpose of the cross is love, and not only love, but God's love for the world. The cross defines God's love for the world. First way the cross defines God's love for the world is that the cross is love. In the New International Version, the one I read, love is stated 551 times. In 1 John 4:8, it says God is love. In 1 Corinthians 13, it says love is patient, love is kind, and most importantly, love is not self-seeking. Okay, hold on. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Hunter, stop throwing scripture around. I get that you're a Christian. Okay. Let me ask you this. What do you envision love to be? I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about love. You know, when I close my eyes and I envision love, I see a man on the side of the street who's homeless, he's lonely, and he's hungry. This man doesn't have family, he doesn't have friends, nobody to feed him. And somebody comes up and gives him a sandwich. Now when he has that sandwich, any of us would eat it. I would eat it. But what this man does is that he gets up and he sees a man across the street. And this man that he sees is worse off than he is. And he walks across the street and he gives that man a sandwich. That is love in its perfect sense. And Jesus defined that love, for he represented that love. So the second way the cross defines God's love is because God sent his son to die on the cross. Jesus on the earth, while he was on the earth, he served, he healed, and he cured many. He was that homeless man on the street who walked across the street to give that person a sandwich. Now, he was hated by many as well. The Roman government accused him of a crimeless crime. So they beat him, they tortured him, and they threw him up on the cross. And while he was up on the cross, he was bleeding, dying from the flesh torn off of his back with a crown of thorns on his head. And the very few last words that he said was, "Father, forgive them." Forgive them for what? Forgive them, the very people who were at his feet gambling for the very bloodstained clothes that was on him as he was dying. Forgive who? Forgive the very people that tortured him. Forgive the very people in the past, the present, and the future. And Christ died. He rose 3 days later. And when he rose, he told his disciples to love. That's exactly what Christians are supposed to do. This leads me to my third way. The third way the cross defines God's love for the world is that Christians are to do the same. There's a man on YouTube that I like to watch, and his name's Clayton Jenkins. When I was listening to one of his videos one day, he talked about his friend named Joe. Now, Joe, in high school, was this man who was an all-star basketball player. Got every shot, he got on the team, he was the all-star, every girl wanted to date him. Well, after they graduated, Joe got into drugs, he got into alcohol. He had a baby out of wedlock, became homeless. The thing is that his parents didn't even know where he was. He didn't know what happened to them. They said they wouldn't be surprised if they found out he was dead. You see, Clayton was walking down the street one day and he saw Joe. And he took Joe in, gave him a meal, bought him a suit, and took him to church the next day. And on that day, Joe gave his life to Christ. And now he works side by side with Clayton in his ministry. You see, what Clayton did is the perfect example of what Christians are supposed to be. And that is love. To love others, love the people who you envy, love the people who you don't like, love the people who accuse you, and love the people who just simply don't like you. In Matthew 16:24, it says, "For if anyone were to follow me, let him deny himself and take up his cross." You see, everything about God is love. Absolutely everything. What you have to understand is that God is love. Jesus represented that love. And the cross defined that love, and Christians are supposed to portray that love. So the next time you see a Christian or a cross, you won't see a symbol of hate, but a symbol of love.